Good morning, everyone. My name is Barry Melia. I'm the Chair of Sustainability for the Guild of Healthcare Pharmacists, and I'm delighted to be speaking to you this morning at the start of the Sustainability in Education 2022 event. I'm delighted that the Guild, together with Farm Declares and CPPE, are co-hosting this event. I'm really sorry I can't be with you. I'm currently traveling back from Paris by train, but feel this is such an important topic that I've recorded this in advance. So let's talk about the importance of embedding sustainability in education. I want you to start with a question. What is most important to you? These two young people are incredibly important to me. This is my son and daughter, Ewan and Kate. And several years ago, they came to me, as they do, and asked, Dad, what are you doing about the environment? And actually, if I'm honest, at that point, I was doing very little. Yes, we did some recycling, but it wasn't front and foremost in my thoughts. Shortly after this, I had the pleasure of listening to Sharon Flegger, who many of you may have heard of, or indeed heard from, on the environmental pollution associated with the use of pharmaceuticals. And that really got me thinking about what I can do. I think it's really important that we start by with a little bit of evidence. So what do we know about climate emergency in young people? The Lancet in Planetary Health has got a number of different articles, but some of the key ones tell us that in a survey of 10 countries, over half of 16 to 25-year-olds actually think humanity is doomed. 3/4 feel that the future is frightening. And for me, those are really stark facts. Looking at the UK, in late 2020, a survey was carried out, again published in The Lancet, that highlighted for young people, actually climate change was associated with greater distress than COVID. And this was at the start of the peak of the winter peak of COVID. And climate change evoked interest, engagement, and a sense of guilt, shame, anger, and disgust. I like to focus on the positives, and the fact that it invoked interest and engagement is actually something critically important and something for us to hang on to. We know that climate distress and anxiety levels are significant in younger adults. And then it falls to people like me and Guild to try and explore how we can support people in moving from distress to action. So why is environmental sustainability important to the Guild? Actually, climate change and biodiversity loss are a health emergency, if not the greatest public health crisis we face. Speakers later today will take you on their various journeys to educate you. But if we take a step back and look at the higher level, actually it is a public health emergency. And the Guild must provide and demonstrate leadership on behalf of its members. Here's how we've done this and how we do this. Our previous president identified that actually sustainability was a critical part of what we should be offering and set up a sustainability branch. I'm the chair. Mina Ai is our vice chair, and I'm sure you'll hear from her later today. All of our NOPC, which is our council members, have completed initial carbon literacy training. We've all completed the first 2 modules of carbon literacy training, and I highly recommend that as a starting point for you. So Matt Sawyer's Sea Sustainability website has that available. I'm sure we can share the links with you afterwards. But it's really important that we work with key stakeholders, both within the pharmacy profession and beyond, to understand how we can maximize change. We need to provide training resources for members and non-members as well, as appropriate. But what's really important for me is that we work regionally nationally across the UK and internationally to support pharmacy's contribution to net zero and trying to address the biodiversity challenge that we face. But in all of this, it's critical that we educate ourselves and others to maximize the impact of any action that we take. So let's turn climate anxiety into climate action. You can, and I would argue must, make the difference. Why is environmental sustainability, education and awareness essential? Well, start at the bottom. You are the future. Older people like me who are getting on their careers will be around for 10, 20 years, but this is a 50, 100-year challenge. But we know the pharmacy staff generally have higher overall levels of awareness. But we know that embedding sustainability in all areas of education and training will ensure pharmacy, other healthcare and education staff are increasingly literate when it comes to discussing the problem, but also the possible action within our respective professions. Pharmacy staff for me are embedded in multidisciplinary teams. But it's really important that we don't just focus in on the medicines, important as they are, but think about that whole patient journey. Maybe using a different medicine or using medicines in a different way can reduce the overall environmental impact of healthcare provision. So it's this wider systems thinking. And going back, you are the future. There's no doubt about that. So let me finish up and share with you what we think our plans will be for the Guild. We will continue to work with our partners, both within the profession and across professions, to support the wider education of the workforce. This is crucially important. We'll share innovative best practice. We're not going to seek to reinvent the wheel, but what we will try and do is point you in the right direction. We will develop resources to support your educational journey. And I'm delighted to announce today we will have an upcoming webinar series starting in November, which will start helping both the profession, but also importantly our members on their sustainability education journey. But we will continue to challenge pharmacy leaders, both locally, nationally and internationally, to create and support opportunities for sustainability innovation. And we think really importantly, career pathways. If you've got a passion for sustainability, let's harness that and give you the opportunity to progress professionally. As always, we will listen to our members and work together with them to deliver real change. We will maintain our commitment to environmental sustainability. We recognize we're in this for the long haul. And I ask you to do one thing. Judge us on our actions, not on our words. And I would ask you to do one other thing today. At the end of this innovative session, take away at least one action, one change that you can make. At this stage, it doesn't really matter what that action is. But what I've found, and I think most people will find, is once you make one change, making the next one and the next one and the next one is that much easier to do. But all of this is underpinned on educating yourself. Let us help you along that journey. All of the partners that are hosting today all have a key role to play. But education will come from many different sources. So take the opportunities available to you, ask questions, think about how you can make a change both as a person, as a community, and as a profession. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you have a fantastic day.